I accuse the person who cut out the letters from this alphabet and communicated by means of those letters with Arsène Lupin." "How do you know that this person's correspondent was Arsène Lupin?" "From Lupin himself." He held out a scrap of moist and crumpled paper. It was the page which Lupin had torn from his notebook in the boat, and on which he had written the sentence. "And observe," said Shears, in a gratified voice, "that there was nothing to compel him to give me this paper and thus make himself known. It was a mere schoolboy prank on his part, which gave me the information I wanted." "What information?" asked the baron. "I don't see." Shears copied out the letters and figures in pencil. C, D, E, H, N, O, P, R, Z, E, O, 237. "Well," said M. d'Imblevalle, "that's the formula which you have just shown us yourself." "No. If you had turned this formula over and over as I have done, you would have seen at once that it contains two more letters than the first, an E and an O." "As a matter of fact, I did not notice." "Place these two letters beside the C and H which remained over from the word répondez, and you will see that the only possible word is echo." "Which means?" "Which means the Echo de France, Lupin's newspaper, his own organ, the one for which he reserves his official communications. Send reply to the Echo de France, agony column, number 237. That was the key for which I had hunted so long and with which Lupin was kind enough to supply me. I have just come from the office of the Echo de France." "And what have you found?" "I have found the whole detailed story of the relations between Arsène Lupin and his accomplice." And Shears spread out 7 newspapers, opened at the 4th page, and picked out the following lines: 1. Ars, Lup. Lady, Imple, Protect, 540. 2. 540. Awaiting explanations, A.L. 3. A.L. Under dominion of enemy, lost. 4. 540. Right address, will make Inc. 5. A.L. Murillo. 6. 540. Park, 3 p.m. Violets. 7. 237. Agreed. Set. Shalby Park. Sun. Morn. "And you call that a detailed story?" exclaimed M. d'Imblevalle. "Why, of course. And if you will pay attention, you will think the same. First of all, a lady, signing herself 540, implores the protection of Arsène Lupin. To this, Lupin replies with a request for explanations. The lady answers that she is under the dominion of an enemy, Bresson, no doubt, and that she is lost unless some one comes to her assistance. Lupin, who is suspicious and dares not yet have an interview with the stranger, asks for the address and suggests an enquiry. The lady hesitates for 4 days, see the dates, and at last, under the pressure of events and the influence of Bresson's threats, gives the name of her street, the Rue Murillo. The next day, Arsène Lupin advertises that he will be in the Parc Monceau at 3 o'clock and asks the stranger to wear a bunch of violets as a token. Here follows an interruption of 8 days in the correspondence. Arsène Lupin and the lady no longer need write through the medium of the paper. They see each other or correspond direct. The plot is contrived. To satisfy Bresson's requirements, the lady will take the Jewish lamp. It remains to fix the day. The lady, who, from motives of prudence, corresponds by means of words cut out and stuck together, decides upon Saturday and adds, "Send reply Echo 237." Lupin replies that it is agreed, and that, moreover, he will be in the park on Sunday morning. On Sunday morning, the theft took place. "Yes, everything fits in," said the baron, approvingly. "And the story is complete." Shears continued. "So the theft took place. The lady goes out on Sunday morning, tells Lupin what she has done, and carries the Jewish lamp to Bresson. Things then happen as Lupin foresaw. The police, misled by an open window, 4 holes in the ground and 2 scratches on a balcony, at once accept the burglary suggestion. The lady is easy in her mind." Very well, said the baron. I accept this explanation as perfectly logical, but the second theft? The second theft was provoked by the first. After the newspapers had told how the Jewish lamp had disappeared, someone thought of returning to the attack and seizing hold of everything that had not been carried away. And this time it was not a pretended theft, but a real theft, with a genuine burglary, ladders, and so on. Lupin, of course? No, Lupin does not act so stupidly. Lupin does not fire at people without very good reason. Then who was it? Bresson, no doubt, unknown to the lady whom he had been blackmailing. It was Bresson who broke in here, whom I pursued, who wounded my poor Wilson. Are you quite sure? Absolutely. One of Bresson's accomplices wrote him a letter yesterday, before his suicide, which shows that this accomplice and Lupin had entered upon a parley for the restitution of all the articles stolen from your house. Lupin demanded everything, the first thing, that is to say, the Jewish lamp, as well as those of the second business. Moreover, he watched Bresson. When Bresson went to the bank of the Seine yesterday evening, one of Lupin's associates was dogging him at the same time as ourselves. What was Bresson doing at the bank of the Seine? Warned of the progress of my inquiry. Warned by whom? By the same lady who very rightly feared lest the discovery of the Jewish lamp should entail the discovery of her adventure. Bresson, therefore, warned, collected into one parcel all that might compromise him, and dropped it in a place where it would be possible for him to recover it once the danger was past. It was on his return that, hunted down by Ganimard and me, and doubtless having other crimes on his conscience, he lost his head and shot himself. But what did the parcel contain? The Jewish lamp and your other things. Then they are not in your possession? Immediately after Lupin's disappearance, I took advantage of the bath which he had compelled me to take to drive to the spot chosen by Bresson. And I found your stolen property wrapped up in linen and oilskin. Here it is, on the table. Without a word, the baron cut the string, tore through the pieces of wet linen, took out the lamp, turned the screw under the foot, pressed with both hands on the receiver, opened it into two equal parts, and revealed the golden chimera set with rubies and emeralds. It was untouched. In all this scene, apparently so natural and consisting of a simple statement of facts, there was something that made it terribly tragic, which was the formal, direct, irrefutable accusation which Shears hurled at mademoiselle with every word he uttered. And there was also Alice Demun's impressive silence. During that long, that cruel accumulation of small superadded proofs, not a muscle of her face had moved, not a gleam of rebellion or fear had disturbed the serenity of her limpid glance. What was she thinking? And, still more, what would she say at the solemn moment when she must reply, when she must defend herself and break the iron circle in which the Englishman had so cleverly imprisoned her? The moment had struck, and the girl was silent. "Speak! Speak!" cried M. d'Imblevalle. She did not speak. He insisted. "One word will clear you. One word of protest, and I will believe you." That word she did not utter. The baron stepped briskly across the room, returned, went back again, and then, addressing Shears: "Well, no, sir, I refuse to believe it true. There are some crimes which are impossible. And this is opposed to all that I know, all that I have seen for a year." He put his hand on the Englishman's shoulder. "But are you yourself, sir, absolutely and definitely sure that you are not mistaken?" Shears hesitated, like a man attacked unawares, who does not defend himself at once. However, he smiled and said: "No one but the person whom I accuse could, thanks to the position which she fills in your house, know that the Jewish lamp contained that magnificent jewel." "I refuse to believe it," muttered the baron. "Ask her." The one thing which he had not tried, in the blind confidence which he felt in the girl. But it was no longer permissible to deny the evidence. He went up to her and, looking her straight in the eyes: "Was it you, mademoiselle? Did you take the jewel? Did you correspond with Arsène Lupin and sham the burglary?" She replied: "Yes, monsieur."